That's enough, Nate. You don't want to kill anybody in your first night as a vampire, right?
But I'm still thirsty. I'm a newborn, I have to drink to grow big and strong.
Newborn vampires aren't the same as newborn babies. You don't actually have to drink this much for your power to grow, you just can't get enough of it. Let's go.
Are you saying I will forever feel thirsty from now on?
Yes and no. You will always crave more blood, that's in our nature, but after a while it won't bother you anymore. Just like temperature, you'll feel it, but it won't hurt you, and you'll know when it's really time to feed.
Does the same apply to sunlight?
No. Damn, I didn't realize it was this early already. Come with me, you're staying at my house today.
Strangerville is a quiet little town with a strange problem. The residents are very friendly, but at night things start to get more interesting. If you want to find out more about this town, you can find military personnel hanging out at the local bar, scientists researching at the local library, and that curio shop stand is sure to have some strange odds and ends by the trailer park. Yep, this definitely looks and sounds like the place I've been seeing in my visions. An email from High Priestess Damaris. I can't even remember the last time I saw her. What does she want now? Who the fuck calls at 7 in the morning? Wilbica, could you answer that?
I'm a little busy right now, still working on a magic fix for the broken toilet. Maybe someone should come up with a spell for that already.
What do I even have kids for? Hello? Oh, Miss Quellman. Tiamo isn't home, but if this is still about that autograph you want him to carve into your skin. You want to talk to me? About what?
Mum, someone is calling on your mobile.
And there were a dozen letters for you in the mailbox. Isn't it a bit early for mail?
Lord of the Underworld, what does everybody and their mother want from me today? Hold on a second.
Hey, that's a new trick. When were you going to teach me that?
Yes, Miss Quellman, I'm back. What is it?
So this is your room, or should I say, your own private crypt, complete with a coffin. How cool is that?
Cool enough to keep you safe from the sun. I will teach you the recipe of a cocktail that allows you to go out by day, but until then, you should take a nap.
You'll have to let me go eventually. The longer you keep me here against my will, the more people will come searching for me, and the harsher your punishment will be.
Not if they never find you here. No one else knows that this basement exists, not even my family, so who exactly are you expecting to come through this door and save you?
It doesn't have to be like this. Just tell me what you're doing, and I'll help.
Do you think I'm stupid? I may not have gotten my powers from you, but I do know a thing or two about you. Your help doesn't come cheap. In fact, you have a reputation for demanding sacrifices that no sane person would ever be willing to make.
Only for the sake of the magic realm. You don't know what it's like being responsible for an entire world that is literally breaking apart, and the longer I'm trapped here, and able to do what I can to prevent that, the worse it's going to get. Not just for the people currently residing in the realm of magic, but for every witch in existence, including you.
If your realm hasn't ripped itself apart until now, I'm positive that it can spare you for another few hours. That's how long it takes for my machine to fully charge, and then I'm going to need the magic of a very powerful witch to make it work properly. Nice try, but you should know by now that this gravity-powered containment cell absorbs all magic you throw at it from within. Think of it as a black hole, but instead of crushing you to a size smaller than an atom, it merely keeps you and your spells from getting out.
I wasn't trying anything magical. I think I have a cold.
All the better that you're in there then. Since you cast spells by sneezing, I've been wondering what would happen if you ever got sick. But I have to leave now. Let's hope my machine is ready by the time I return, so you can make your contribution and I can finally get rid of you.
What am I supposed to do about my cold?
The same thing you tell your witches to do after you ask them to kill their children or do some other unthinkable bullshit. Suck it up.
That took some doing. As much as Nate loved the idea of sleeping in a coffin, getting him to actually stay in it with the lid closed wasn't so easy.
Tiamo, I have to ask you this. Are you planning on getting intimate with that guy?
Yuck. No way. What gives you that idea?
That's usually what happens when you bring someone home early in the morning and take them straight to your bed.
Nate is like a little brother to me, and now he's also a fellow vampire, so I have to keep an eye on him. As long as he can't control his thirst, he's a potential threat to any mortals in his vicinity, and he has to get used to sleeping in coffins until he develops some sun resistance. The more important question is, what's with all these letters? And why did Miss Quellman call?
For the same reason I've also been getting emails from people I haven't spoken to in ages, a couple of magic telegrams, and someone even sent a freaking owl with a letter. The ageless sage has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
No one has seen him in a while. At first they assumed he had heard of some new kind of magic in a foreign country and left to learn more about it, like that time he went to explore some temple ruins in Selvadorada. But in those cases he usually leaves a note for his servants, or even takes some of them with him. Not this time, apparently. They think something happened to him, and that I might be responsible.
Honestly, I would probably come to the same conclusion. I don't even know the ageless sage, but I do know, just like everybody else in the magic community, that you hated his guts.
Hated? Are we talking about him in past tense now because we think he's dead, or because you assume I don't hate him anymore? I don't know about the former, but I can assure you that the latter is still true.
You never told us why exactly you hate him so much.
That's witchy stuff, you wouldn't understand.
But I used to be a witch myself.
And I still am one.
It's also grown-up stuff, you wouldn't understand.
Seriously?
What's your clone doing up there?
I don't know. When it was done answering my calls, I figured I might as well have it clean the house until the spell wears off. Maybe that's what just happened. That spell is a little glitchy, I never know how long it lasts. Alright, now I have to check it out.
And that's my cue. Dr. Donovan invited me to accompany her to work today. I'm finally going to see Foxbury Institute.
So that's why you're up this early. Have fun. Oh hi bitch. Bye bitch. The next time you disappear like this, please do it while others are present too, so they stop thinking that I'm just imagining things.
What's going on here? Someone obviously wants to see me punished for whatever happened to the ageless sage.
So this is Foxbury Institute. Wow, it's even cooler than I imagined.
I can't believe you've never seen this place before, considering how you always speak of wanting to skip school to come here.
I've been to Brightchester, but only to the historical university when my brother was still studying there. I like this one a lot better though, especially how modern everything looks. Did you get your astrophysics degree here, Dr. Donovan?
Oh, no. Back when I was a student, these facilities were still being constructed. My family isn't even from this part of the country. I got my degree at La Fiesta Tech.
In the middle of the desert, fitting for someone who wants to study aliens.
I didn't study aliens, but if you ask Evelyn, everything concerning outer space is pretty much the same anyway, and none of it actually exists. But she can explain that to you herself. I have yet to make a few preparations for my panel discussion. See you at the cafeteria in an hour.
If you think so lowly of your sister's work, why did you come here with her today?
I don't think lowly of her work. Elise and I have always been polar opposites. I got married at 18 and became a young mother. She chose to pursue an academic career instead. But just because we believe in different things, doesn't mean we can't keep an open mind about it.
My mother has always had both a family and a career ever since I can remember. Why does everyone act like those are mutually exclusive?
We don't, or at least, Elise doesn't. She wrote her dissertation about a hypothetical connection between science, religion and magic, stating that there are basically three different ways of looking at the same thing, that magic is nothing but advanced science, or the most basic kind, depending on how you look at it, and both will eventually help us grasp the true nature of God. If you can reconcile the concepts of creation and evolution the way she does, then balancing a job and a family should be nothing in comparison. My sister could have had it all, she just chose not to.
And you?
Well, I guess I'm just not really good at anything else than being a wife and a mother.
Do you really believe that?
I believe that I'm starving. Let's go to the cafeteria early.
The realm of magic. So much time has passed, yet so little has changed.
Aya Mammini? Is it really you? I'm surprised to see you here.
I'm not at all surprised to see you here, Pompilia Popescu. I still remember the day I bought my first wand from you, except now you're an actual ghost, not just astral projecting.
Yeah, death by magic overload. What can I say? It can happen to anyone.
Actually, it only happens to those who either don't know what they're doing, or think they're more powerful than they really are.
Well, anyway, I can imagine why you're here. You must have heard of the terrible tragedy that has befallen the magic community.
Of course she has, Father. Don't you know the old saying? The criminal always returns to the scene of crime.
SetsunaMaiou. A pleasure to see you, as always.
Spare us the hypocritical ass-kissing and be honest for once in your life.
Fine. That suit makes you look fat.
We all know you did it.
My dear, we don't know anything of the sort. Just because it's a well-known fact that Aya hated the ageless sage and had every reason to wish him away, doesn't mean she actually did anything to him.
And if I was indeed guilty, don't you think I would have made it look like I wasn't? Because I sure as hell could have spent my morning better than getting rid of all the hate mail from people whose sole purpose in life is to be annoying.
So you think I'm annoying for trying to solve this mystery?
I wasn't referring to you specifically, since as a romp agent it's actually your job to look into this, but if the shoe fits.
Ladies, please. We witches must stick together in these dark times. Let's all go to the assembly later today in the main building and hear what the High Priestess has to say about the situation. As the ageless sage's most trusted servant, she will know what to do.
The community is holding an assembly? Why am I only hearing about this now? You'd think one of my haters could have mentioned it in between their many useless threats and insults.
I suppose no one expected you to come, at least not to offer solutions. You don't seem particularly shaken by what happened, whether it's your doing or not.
Because I am not. That is the truth. And you wanted me to be honest, so stop whining.
I'll show you whining when I make you beg for mercy, you grumpy old frump.
Enough with the cat fights. Come, SetsunaMaiou, you need a cup of chamomile tea to calm your nerves. See you at the assembly,
I'll be watching your every move.
Wah wah wah.
Hey, don't let her provoke you. Keep walking.
A witch assembly. Great! I'm looking forward to finding the one who killed my clone, and showing them the full extent of my gratitude.
Alright, that should be a big enough supply of Bloody Jane and Sunlight Reversal cocktail for Nate to get by for the time being. But I'm going to pick some extra plasma fruit too, just in case. Okay, now you're trolling me on purpose.
No, I'm not. I have no idea what just happened.
What are you waiting for? Aren't you going to disappear again?
Wait a second, I'll take a quick look at my random disappearing schedule, then I can tell you.
Well, in that case, I was just headed outside. Care to join me? I'll take that as a no.
And this is why I believe it's just a matter of time until we'll learn how to turn time into space and space into time.
You're forgetting something, Dr. Donovan. The only thing in the universe capable of manipulating space-time the way you described is a black hole, inside of which the laws of physics no longer apply. Even if you were able to create an artificial singularity on our planet, which I'm pretty sure you're not, it would crush you to death, along with the rest of us, before we get a chance of using its energy for anything.
Not if magic is involved.
But we're talking about science and facts, not fantasy concepts.
The laws of physics are a product of science, and you just said that there were places in our universe where those laws don't apply. How can this be, if science supposedly has the answers to everything? Well, because it doesn't, or at least not yet. Be it the Big Bang Theory, quantum mechanics, or the age of the star HD 140283, none of these things can be fully explained because the rules we've made up for them are missing a key component, and as long as we don't know what that component is, we might as well call it magic.
This is going way over my head.
But it's fascinating.
There is a question in the audience. Yes?
Dr. Donovan, if you were to find that missing component and gain absolute knowledge of all the things you just mentioned, what would you do with it?
I think I would build a time machine, visit my younger self, and convince her to wear a gas mask to her sister's wedding so she doesn't pass out from the incense in the middle of the ceremony.
Oh God, that was so embarrassing.
But doesn't the fact that you have no memory of such an event prove that you're never going to achieve that?
Who says I don't have such a memory? Maybe I just didn't listen to my future self back then because I thought I knew better. But that might actually be a good enough reason not to try again and use my time machine for more worthwhile purposes. Think of your most admired historical figure who died before your time. Wouldn't it be great to meet them in person? Or to see what the world looked like when it was still inhabited by dinosaurs? Or go even further back and witness the birth of the universe itself? That's what I would use time travel for, and I can't wait for this dream to become reality.
You know, that fossil moderator didn't seem convinced, but to me you were clearly the winner of this debate.
It wasn't really a debate, Wilbica, just an intellectual discussion among academics. And that fossil you mentioned, he's the principal of this university, and the one I talked to before the panel discussion. About you.
Me? Why?
He was quite impressed when I told him how smart you are, so I asked him nicely if he would be okay with you coming here more often, just to, get a taste of the new school you might be attending at some point in the future.
Wait. No shit.
Is that girl even old enough to be out in public by herself? This is one of the country's most prestigious universities, not a playground for precocious preteens.
Don't forget you owe me for keeping your secret. Or should I tell everyone who, or rather what, you truly are? I wonder how the academic world will react to a university principal who promises his students good grades in exchange for letting him suck their blood.
No.
So we have a deal then.
Oh Elise, I know you don't want to hear it, but you're a true Christian at heart.
I know you don't want to hear it, Evelyn, but altruism isn't a Christian invention.
Thank you so much. I seriously can't wait to tell my family about this.
Thank you for coming here today, witches. As you all probably know by now, the ageless sage has disappeared, and... oh. Aya Mammini. What a surprise to see you here.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Go on.
Where was I? Ah yes, our leader's absence poses a serious threat to the magic community. Without his powers holding the floating islands together, this place might break apart, literally, with unforeseen consequences for the magic world as a whole. So I hope that together, we can come up with a way of keeping the balance until the ageless sage returns.
High Priestess, why isn't there a contingency plan for this kind of situation?
There is, but it involves some highly advanced magic, which is why I invited only the most powerful witches to this assembly. Of course, no single witch is as powerful as our sage, but if we split his duty of protecting the magic realm between three of us, three surrogate sages so to speak, we should be able to recreate his power.
What would each sage have to do?
Simply concentrate their entire energy on one of the floating islands surrounding the main island. This would of course require them to stay in the magic realm and not get distracted by anything, be it hunger, fatigue, or simply boredom.
I volunteer. After all, I'm already dead, so no matter how demanding the task will be, at least I can't be killed again.
Good thinking, Pompilou, but what about the rest of us? Can this actually be lethal?
Well, dying from exhaustion or magic overload is definitely possible wherever magic is involved. I never said following in the ageless sage's footsteps was going to be easy, but this plan might just work.
Seems like a rather big sacrifice for a maybe.
It is. But unfortunately it's also our only option, unless you're suggesting something else.
How about not doing anything? The realm won't break apart anytime soon, and even if it does, magic has existed long before the floating islands and before the ageless sage, right? So it will continue existing no matter what happens to this place.
Finally, someone with common sense.
That's exactly what we don't know. Magic may predate everything else, but this place isn't called the realm of magic because some witches randomly decided to use it as their rendezvous point a few centuries ago. They came here because magic existed here first, pulling them towards it, not the other way around. This place is our sanctuary, and I'll do whatever is necessary to protect it, so count me in for Operation Surrogate Sage.
I appreciate that, Stelmaria, but you are the witch police's best chance of finding out what happened to the ageless sage. We need you on that front.
Let me do it then.
Me too.
Awesome. Looks like you've got your 3 sages then, High Priestess. This was fun, but I have to go and do important stuff now, like finding out the exact number of bees in my hive, and watching a documentary about the evolution of anything at all. Excuse me.
Go home if you wish, but you better be there when I come to arrest you for your crime. You can't hide from Romp.
Romp yourself.
How dare you?
Let her go. If she's indeed guilty, you'll catch her later.
Hey Mum. Since when do you get mobile reception in the magic realm?
I'm not there anymore. I'm in Glimmerbrook.
There's a portal here too, you know. Why didn't you come straight home?
Never mind that right now. Tiamo, I need you to do something. If I'm not home within the hour, get Wilbica and take her somewhere safe. The Bell's house for all I care. As useless as those people are, at least they have a cop in the family.
You sound worried.
This ageless sage situation is getting out of hand.
How?
The witches are blaming me for his disappearance. I might come after you too. So do me a favor and lay low for a while.
What are you going to do in the meantime?
I think I'm up for a little stroll in the forest.